cooking for Valentine's Day, and I've got Don Mailman with me today. He's a chef instructor with the Culinary Arts program at the NSCC campus at KINGSTEC. And what are we doing today, Don?
Well, today we're going to make strawberry cream cheese French toast, and I'm going to serve that today with a salted chocolate sauce and fresh fruit. So you want to start with definitely a day-old baguette or even a French loaf. But with the bread, what we're going to do is we're going to first spread that with little cream cheese, just very lightly, both sides.
You don't want to go crazy with the cream cheese?
Not yet, no. We're going to sandwich in between there the strawberry jam. So you just kind of want this to be a light film. It's mainly for the flavor. Now the jam goes in between. This is homemade jam.
Did you make this yourself?
No, one of my neighbors gave that to us for a Christmas present. One of their favorite homemade recipes. So you're going to take a little bit of jam and spread that on the inside. And then sandwich it together.
Oh, so you don't do it on both sides, just a little bit on one side?
One side. 1 part egg, 1 part milk. So double up the milk. We got 2 eggs in there. Pinch of cinnamon. And then we're going to beat the eggs. Now, I tell everyone when you beat the eggs, I want you to notice something. See this stuff right here?
Yeah.
Well, you want to beat the snot out of the eggs. That's the snot, okay? If you don't beat the eggs enough, what happens is you have clumpy eggs and it won't get absorbed into your bread mixture. So again, make sure you beat the snot out of the egg. It should run right off.
Okay, yep, so it shouldn't be gooey at all.
Not a bit. So you're going to take that, you're not going to let it sit in there too long, because you don't want it to absorb too much.
Okay.
Right.
Now you let it set there on the counter for a bit?
Yeah, I'll let it set. And you'll notice if you take a shot of the bread itself, the egg mixture is being absorbed and it's starting to look a little bit dry. That's what you want to do before it hits the frying pan. So over a moderate heat, you're going to preheat your pan. It's really important. If you don't preheat your pan, then by the time you put the food in, the food will stay cold and it will heat up really, really slowly. You don't want that to happen. So you want your pan hot. We're going to then take some whole butter, just a little tiny bit of butter. What's going to happen is, you notice that it's kind of foamy and white right now. Well, that's the whey that's separated from the oil of the butter. All right, when that starts to foam, and you can see that in the pan, it's just starting to do that now, then we're almost ready to begin cooking. So what you want to do is you want to gently lift this to your hot pan. You'll notice that it starts to sizzle right around the bottom of the bread where it hits the pan. Be able to actually hear that, right?
Oh, yeah. Beauty. Now, how long would you cook this for?
We're going to cook it until it's golden brown on both sides. And once it's golden brown on both sides, we're going to take it off and we're going to let it rest on a clean plate, set it aside. We want to make sure that cream cheese melts into the strawberry jam. Alright, let's remove these from the heat so that we can allow them to rest now. They're golden brown on both sides.
And that literally took like 4 minutes.
That's it. Yep, very, very fast. You can make a bunch of these ahead of time and just kind of warm them in your oven at about 150 degrees. Most home ovens will keep food at about 150. You use the low setting.
Okay.
All right, now moving on to the chocolate. You want to have a pot of boiling water.
Okay.
Stainless steel bowl. You don't want your water to a raging boil because if water comes in contact with melted chocolate, then it seizes and it'll turn to cocoa powder and cocoa butter. It'll actually separate on you.
Oh, wow.
So make sure your bowl is nice and dry and clean, and we're going to use 1 part dark chocolate and 1 part milk chocolate, and we're simply going to melt those two together. The more fat, the richer it's going to be, and so that's why I'm using some milk chocolate and some dark chocolate. So there's a little difference. If you try to do this with straight milk chocolate, then it doesn't work. It doesn't have that full body taste of the chocolate that you're looking for. So now we're going to add some salt to the chocolate as it melts. And today I'm working with a pink Himalayan salt. Don't be shy.
Pink Himalayan salt. Now, is this like normal salt or?
No, this is a mountain salt. salt is a mineral, and the table salt that you're used to at home is really salty. And the saltiest salt in the world comes from the Dead Sea. This one comes from the mountains. It's a little bit less salty, but it has all that sodium flavor that we look for. What it does is it makes your mouth salivate as you eat the chocolate. So you can't resist to go back to more chocolate, right? It makes the chocolate taste that much better.
Oh man, like you have to make chocolate taste better.
You have to make chocolate taste better. Wonderful. So we're going to turn that off, remove it from the heat. Make sure you're not sitting around the boiling water, because again, we don't want any drops of the water to get inside of this. And we have to let this cool slightly before we add the butter. Okay? All right. So in the meantime, we're going to get our French toast ready. So all we have to do with our French toast, it's sitting and it's resting. We're going to take some icing sugar, and we're going to dust the top of the French toast with some icing sugar. That is ready to plate. Our chocolate should have cooled down enough now that we're going to add a small amount of butter, not a whole lot. If you notice, I'm going to use about ½ an ounce of whole butter. It's sitting at room temperature. So now, we're going to take our plate. We're going to put a smear of chocolate on the plate. So I'm going to take a full tablespoon, place that tablespoon on one end, make a puddle, and then I'm going to drag that chocolate across the plate. So now we have a spot for our French toast to sit.
Oh my, and this would be a nice romantic breakfast to have in bed.
Oh, can you imagine? Someone walked into the bedroom with this, already trayed up, piping hot, with champagne and orange juice. Who would want to get out of bed?
Who would want to get out of bed? What do you got? And we're also going to garnish this as well.
We are. We're going to put some fresh fruit with this.
All right, here we go. Don, this is awesome. I've never had this before. This is really neat.
Make sure you get lots of chocolate with your...
Was there a doubt? Like, come on. All right. Oh, man, this is so good. The cream and... Oh, my. Oh, my. I didn't think you would taste the cinnamon as much as you do. This is amazing. Oh, that chocolate. You're right, making my mouth salivate. Blackberry, too. This is the ultimate romance. Thank you, Don Mailman, and the NSCC KINGSTEC Culinary course. You guys are great, and this is very romantic, let's say that.